Another historical mystery has been revealed. We've managed to piece together the events that took place on the 30th of May 1943 in one of the regions of the Leningradsky district. Although the wreckage of the plane was discovered a couple of years ago, it's only now that we've had a chance to dig it out of the mud. And now we finally know all about the heroic pilot behind this amazing story. Such weather is a real gift to searchers. The January frost had the Great Swamp on ice. But now, with temperatures just above freezing, the equipment can finally reach the crash site. At any other time of year, even off-road vehicles couldn't get through. These places are remote, no wonder it's called the Great Swamp. Locals have been talking for years about the Soviet pilot who rammed an enemy plane in the skies over Ladoga on the 30th of May 1943. But it wasn't until 3 years ago that the place of his death was finally determined. In the middle of a swamp, a hunter noticed a small piece of an aircraft. The Russian Military Historical Society joined the search. For months, its members combed the marshes with metal detectors and felt around the bog holes. Divers cut through almost a meter of ice. They were up to their necks in frozen mud. And finally, the strut of the landing gear came up to the surface. It's in almost perfect condition. The swamp water had perfectly preserved the details: the machine gun, bent from the impact, the engine, and the propeller. And the most valuable find to the researchers is the factory serial number. It's readable. This means that documents can be found in the Ministry of Defense archives to determine the name of the pilot. Alexander Petrovich Horashkov, Guards Junior Lieutenant. We believe that the place where the plane crashed is the place where the pilot died. During his lifetime, not posthumously, he was recommended for a medal. Most likely in order to honor his memory, his comrades and commander didn't report him as missing in action. If they had reported him missing, he probably wouldn't have received the award, says Sergei Machinsky, head of the search department of the Russian Military Historical Society. Lieutenant Horashkov was born in the region of Tambov in 1919. He was a graduate of an aviation school. He fought on the Leningrad front from the beginning of the war. On the 30th of May 1943, he flew out to cover the Road of Life. According to his comrades, Horashkov was engaged in a dogfight with several German bombers. He refused to let them drop their bombs and forced them to retreat. But he was wounded, his plane was badly damaged, and it was on fire. He had only a few kilometers to reach the airfield. Further events were described by witnesses, residents of nearby villages and fighters from the Road of Life. All of a sudden, a Nazi Heinkel appeared in front of the burning plane. And our pilot, without a moment's hesitation, decided on a ramming attack. He was already wounded, his plane had been hit and was drowning in the smoke. He had every reason to bail out, but he saw an enemy bomber preparing to shell the port of Kabona, which supplied besieged Leningrad, and he made the decision to ram that plane, no longer thinking of his own fate. In the plane lifted, the ammunition was almost unused. The pilot was probably unable to fire. He was dying, but still, with all his remaining strength, he turned his plane head-on toward the enemy. Today's operation is a very important and touching moment. But as the search team says, it's far from the end of their work. The restorers promise to recover at least some parts of the plane. They have also set themselves the goal of finding the relatives of the pilot. The 24-year-old hero have never had the chance to start a family. His mother, Natalia Makarovna, never saw him return to his village. Now it can be said that the pilot is coming home. Thank you all for watching. You can support the channel by becoming a sponsor for as little as $1. Good luck to all!